This podcast is a member of the New York City Podcast Network at nycpodcastnetwork.com. Visit us to listen to over 250 amazing podcasts just like this one.
Japanese street style is some of the cutest and trendiest clothing in the world. Introducing Cherry Goddess Women's Clothing and Accessories, the hottest original and cute clothing company. We offer tops, clothes, accessories, shoes, dresses and skirts, and comfortable homeware that we guarantee you will love. Cherry Goddess Women's Clothing, super cute Japanese style clothing.
This is Black Wall Street Chronicles, and we're back at it again. Thank you for listening to my podcast. This episode, we're going to mourn the great DMX. Before we mourn the great DMX, let's have a moment of silence. Okay. Before we get started talking about DMX's life, I have some announcements. I'm registered at IMBD as a director. If you go to my IMBD page, Black Wall Street Chronicles, you can give my podcast episode a higher rating. Please give it a 10. I am on Apple, I'm on Spotify, so if you're listening on this on Apple and Spotify, please give this episode 5 stars. Also, my Instagram is BlackHage840, and it has my bios to my Twitter, my Facebook, and my Twitch. Now, let's get started talking about this great man's life. Earl Simmons was born December 18, 1970. He was known by the stage name DMX, was an American rapper, songwriter, and actor. He began rapping in the early 1990s and released his debut album, It's Heart is Dark and Hell is Hot, in 1998, to both critical acclaim and commercial success, selling 251,000 copies within his first week of release. He released his best-selling album, And Then There Was X, in 1999, which included the hit single Party Up in Here, and his 2003 singles Where's the Hood At and X Gonna Give It To You were also commercial success. DMX was featured in such as Belly, Romeo Must Die, Exit Wounds, Cradle to the Grave, and The Last Hour. In 1990 and 2006, he starred in a reality TV series DMX Soul of a Man, which was primarily aired on the BET cable network. In 2003, he published a book of his memoirs called R.l.P, the autobiography of DMX. Earl Simmons was born in Mount Vernon, New York on December 18, 1970, the son of 19-year-old Arnett Simmons and 18-year-old Joe Barker, and was raised in nearby Yonkers. Earl was the second child of Arnett, who had given birth to a daughter, Bonita, 2 years prior, as well as one daughter, Shia. 2 stillborn sons after Earl. Barker did not want Simmons to keep custody of Earl and cut off all contact with the family as soon as Earl was born. As a child, Simmons suffered gravely from bronchial asthma, being taken to the emergency room almost likely due to a wake of unable to breathe. He was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, but became disillusioned with the faith after his mother rejected a possible settlement stemming from an incident where he was hit by a drunk driver while crossing the street, in which he suffered minor injuries. A while after the incident, a representative of the insurance company represented the driver who had hit him, went to his house to try to reach an agreement with his family so they would not sue. He claims his family could have received as much as $10,000 from the legal settlement, but his mother refused to open a case, and she claimed that faith taught him to be self-sufficient. Simmons' childhood that included being beaten by his mother and his various boyfriends so badly that he lost his teeth and sustained numerous bruises on his cut face. When Simmons was 5 years old, his family settled in Yonkers, New York. At the end of the 5th grade, Simmons was kicked out of school and sent to the Julia Dykeman Andrews Children's Home for 8 months. When he was 14, Simmons began wandering the streets of Yonkers to escape his mother's abuse and eventually found comfort in befriending stray dogs that walked the streets at night. Shortly after he began doing this, his mother once again sent him to a boys' home. During his stay at the boys' home, Simmons bonded with other students from New York over their shared love of hip-hop music. After performing for his friends, they encouraged Simmons to continue writing music at the behest of his teacher. When he returned home, Simmons met Reddy Ron, a local rapper. Impressed with Simmons' beatboxing skills, asked him to become his musical partner. Simmons chose the name DMX, which came from the instrument he had used at the boys' home, the Obermeyer DMX drum machine. He later was also interpreted as Darkman X. Darkman X got his start in the music industry in 1984 when he beatboxed for Reddy Ron after serving time in prison for stealing a dog. He began writing his own print lyrics and performing at local recreation center for younger children. After going to prison for 1998 for carjacking, he began taking rapping more seriously, dedicating almost all his free time to writing lyrics and also meeting and rapping with K Solo while incarcerated. When DMX was released that summer, he began producing and selling his own mixtapes, where he rapped over instrumentals from other songs and sold them on the street corners, which helped him build a local fan base all over New York. In 1991, The Source magazine praised DMX in its unsigned high column that highlight unsigned hip-hop artists. 1992, Columbia Records signed DMX to the subsidiary label Rough House, which released his debut single Born Loser. He released his second single Make a Move in 1994, and he made a guest appearance along Jay-Z, Ja Rule, and Mike Geronimo in the classic underground track Tom the Grill on Mike Geronimo's debut album in 1995. DMX recorded tracks from September 1996 to January 1998 for his debut album. During this time, his guest spot appearances on May Signal's 24 Hours to Live and Take What's Yours, the last single Money, Power, and Respect, and LL Cool J's single 4321 created a strong buzz for the then unsigned rapper. In February 1998, DMX released his debut major label single, Get At Me Dog, on Def Jam. The single was certified gold by the RIAA. His first major label album, It's Dark and Hell Is Hot, which included the single Rough Rider Anthem, was then released in May 1998. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 chart in the US and sold over 5 million copies. In 1998, DMX released his second album, Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. It debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200 and went multi-platinum. DMX released his third and best-selling album, And Then It Was X, on December 21st, 1999. It was his third album to debut number 1 on Billboard 200. Its most popular single, Party Up in Here, became his first top 10 hit on the R&B charts, and he was named for the Best Rap Solo Performance in 2001 Grammy Awards. The album was certified 6 times platinum. It was nominated for Best Rap Album at the 21 Grammy Awards. In 2000, DMX also made a cameo appearance in the Slum 41 music video for Makes No Difference. After improving his legal situation, DMX returned to the studio, completed his 4th album, The Great Depression, released on October 23, 2001. It was his 4th album to debut at number 1 on the Billboard 200, featured with singles Who We Be, We Right Here, and Shorty Was the Bomb. Despite the album's triple platinum certification, its commercial and critical success was lower than the previous album. His fifth album, Grand Champ, once again debuted at number one of the Billboard 200 charts, placing DMX as the only musical artist in history to release 5 consecutive albums. His album catalog at the time that debuted at number one, singles The Hood, Where the Hood At, and Get on the Floor. After his release, he informed the public he was planning to retire, and the Grand Champ was his final album. Damn. He is the first and the only musical artist in history to release 5 consecutive number one albums on Billboard 200. Why people are not considering this man one of the top 10 greatest MCs of all time? I'm not even going to get into that conversation. Alright. Year of the Dog, again in the definition of X. DMX signed to Columbia Records in January 2006. He recorded his next album, Year of the Dog, again, while switching record labels, which caused numerous delays. It was released on August 1st, 2006, and missed the number one Billboard spot by only a couple of hundred copies. He released 2 more singles, Lord Giving Me Sign and We In Here. On June 12, 2008, Def Jam released a compilation of his greatest hits, The Definition of X, The Pick of the Litter. In 2011, Def Jam released another compilation album, The Best of DMX, which features hit singles including Where the Hood At and X Gonna Give It To You. In 2009, DMX, he would pursue preaching in New Jersey City, New Jersey, but he will also continue to produce music. He competed a gospel album prior to his incarceration. According to MTV, he is semi-retired to study the Bible more in effort to give messages behind the pulpit. 2013, DMX announced that he had begun working the 8th studio album. He has been signed collaborating with producer Swiss Beats and Dame Grease. In December, after regaining his passport, he embarked on a world tour with performances in Bulgaria and Kosovo. In January 7, 2015, 7 Arts Music announced that DMX will be released Redemption of the Beast the following week. However, a close personal friend and recurring collaborator, producer, rapper, entrepreneur, Swiss Beats, and DMX management confirmed that this was false. On January 13, 2015, 7 Arts Music released Redemption of the Beast without acquiring a legal artist contract. On January 15, it was announced by DMX's brother manager Montana that DMX is no longer signed to 7 Arts Music, and they will be taking legal action against 7 Arts Music for the unauthorized release of Redemption of the Beast. Longtime collaborator Swiss Beats that 2 of the collaborators on the album will be Kanye West and Dr. Dre. His 2003 song X Gonna Give It To You was featured in the 2006 film Deadpool in his trailers. In June 28, 2016, DMX released a new song which was produced by Devon Bars, which was titled Blood Red. On January 11, 2017, DMX released a new song produced by Swiss Beats entitled Bane in Black. On September 20, 2019, DMX signed a new record deal with Def Jam, reuniting with the label for the first time since the 2003 album Grand Champ. DMX was a Christian and stated he read the Bible every day. While in prison, DMX said that he had purpose for being here. I came to meet somebody. Don't know who it was, but it was done when I see him, and I came him to give him a message, and that message is Jesus love him. DMX was going around transitional deacon in the Christian church and aspired to become ordained as a pastor, stating that he receives his call in 2012. DMX was a father of 15 children for 9 different women. He married his childhood friends Tarisha Simmons in 1991, and they were married for 11 years. They have 4 children together: Xavier, Tacoma, Praise, Murray, Ellie, Sean. In 2010, after his first 3 incarcerations that year, Tanessa announced their separation. They remain friends, although in 2016, Simmons accused DMX of missing his $10,000 a month child support payment. DMX had extramarital affairs during his marriage to Simmons, some which produced children. All details are scarce. DMX and Monique Wayne and Marilyn Manson fought over a claim that he was the father of a son born in 2004. She sued him repeatedly for defamation for child support. After genetic testing proved that DMX was indeed the father, in January 2008, DMX was ordered to pay Wayne $1.5 million, but a judge vacated the judgment in May 2008. DMX also father in charge in 2008 and fathered 2 children with ex-girlfriend Yajira Barrego. His 15th child, Exodus Simmons, was born to his fiancée Desiree Limstrong on August 16, 2016. Finance and bankruptcies. DMX earned $2.5 million from his songs between 2010 and 2015. DMX filed bankruptcy 3 times. His first filing was on July 30th, 2013, citing his child support obligations and his priority claim. The filing was challenged by the United States Trustee Program and was dismissed by the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in Manhattan on November 11, 2013. During the 1990s, DMX formed a correspondence with fellow up and up-and-coming rappers Jay-Z and Ja Rule. The 3 collaborated many times and formed a group known as Murder Inc. The group was short-lived due to internal issues between DMX and Jay-Z. After the breakup of Murder Inc., DMX disparaged Ja Rule in interviews, accusing him of being a copycat, drawing comparisons between himself and what he saw Ja seeing his signature gruff style of delivery. DMX released a diss track, We Want Raw, on 2002 Dave J.K. Slay mixtape. Ja Rule never directly responded. As the time passed, the fool faded into obscurity. DMX said he wanted to officially bring it to an end when he was released in prison in 2005. Gotti came to me in jail, said I wanted to make peace with you and him. I was like, alright Gotti, let's do it. Despite this, DMX and Ja Rule did not officially end their feud until 2009 at the VH1's Hip Hop Honors. DMX and his legal issues. DMX was first sent to prison in 1986 after stealing the dog from a junkyard. He was sentenced to 2 years in juvenile unit of Wilford Prison in Valhalla, New York. However, just weeks after starting his sentence, he and his cellmate successfully escaped the prison, and DMX returned home to New York until his mother forced him to turn himself in and finish his sentence, which he did at the McCormick Juvenile Detention Center in Brooksdale, New York. Simmons was sent to prison again in 1988 for carjacking and was later moved to a higher security prison, attempting to extort a fellow inmate for drugs. He was released in the summer of 1988. Following his emergence as a public figure, DMX multiple arrests for various offenses including resistance arrest, animal cruelty, reckless driving, unlicensed driving, drug possession, and identity falsification. When officers of the Fort Lee Police Department executed a shelter home in 1999, DMX promptly surrendered himself on weapons possession charges. DMX faced in 1999 of animal cruelty in Teaneck, New Jersey, after a dozen pit bulls were found on his own. The charge was dismissed after the former agreed to accept responsibility and record public service announcements for animal rights groups. In 2000, DMX served a 15-jail sentence for possession of marijuana. DMX served another jail sentence in 2001 for driving without a license and possession of marijuana. His appeal to reduce his sentence was denied, rather he was charged with assault for throwing objects at prison guards. DMX entered rehab to treat his addiction to drugs in 2002. In January 2002, DMX pled guilty to New Jersey to 13 counts of animal cruelty, 2 counts of maintaining a nuisance, and 1 count of each disorderly conduct, possession of drug paraphernalia. He eventually pleaded, bargained down to fines, probation, and community service, and started a public service announcements against the dangers of guns and animal abuse. In June 2004, DMX was arrested at JFK International Airport on charges of cocaine possession, criminal impersonation, criminal possession of a weapon, criminal mischief, menacing, and driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol, while claiming to be a federal agent and attempting to carjack a vehicle. He was given a conditional discharge on December 8, 2004, but pleaded guilty on October 25, 2005 to violating parole. On November 18, 2005, DMX was sentenced to 70 days in jail for violating parole. The lateness charge added a 10-day extension to the original 30-day sentence. DMX was released early for good behavior on December 30, 2005. On May 9, 2008, DMX was arrested on drug and animal cruelty charges after attempting to barricade himself inside his Arizona home. DMX pleaded guilty to charges of drug possession, theft, animal cruelty at a hearing on December 30, 2008. He was sentenced to 90 days in jail on January 31, 2009. On May 26, 2009, DMX entered a plea agreement charge of P and pleaded guilty to attempted aggravated assault. After serving 4 out of the 6 months of violating drug probation, DMX was released from jail from July 6, 2010. That day, a television pilot was filmed to portray his road to recovery. However, DMX was arrested 3 weeks later, and the pilot did not evolve into a series. On July 27, 2010, DMX turned himself into the Los Angeles Metropolitan Court for a reckless driving charge he received in 2002. He was sentenced to serve 90 days in jail. On October 19, 2010, DMX was arrested in Maricopa County, Arizona, on charges of violating his probation by consuming alcohol at a performance. On December 20, 2010, DMX was moved to the mental health unit of the Arizona State Prison and released on July 18, 2011. On August 24, 2011, DMX was arrested for speeding, recorded as 102 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone, reckless driving, and driving with a suspended license. While DMX admitted to speeding, he claims he was driving 85 miles per hour. On February 13, 2013, DMX was arrested in Spartanburg, South Carolina for driving without a driver's license. On July 26, 2013, DMX was arrested again in Greenville County, South Carolina, and charged with driving under the influence of alcohol as well as driving without a license. On August 20, 2013, DMX was arrested again in Greene, South Carolina during a traffic stop after a car he was a passenger made an improper U-turn. He was arrested due to an outstanding warrant for driving under the suspension. 4 packages of marijuana were also found in the vehicle. Along with the driver, he was cited for them. On November 4, 2013, DMX was arrested by the Greenville Spartanburg International Airport near Greer, South Carolina, after police were familiar with his profile. Noticed DMX behind the wheel of a vehicle at the terminal. DMX was booked on charges of driving under suspension, having an uninsured vehicle, and not having a licensed vehicle. He was subsequently released after spending 3 hours in jail. Tax fraud conviction. Damn. Well, I'll get to that in a second. On June 26, 2015, DMX was arrested in New York, charged for robbery in Newark, New Jersey, and outstanding child support. On July 14, 2015, DMX was sentenced to 6 months in jail for failing to pay $400,000 in child support. On December 14, 2015, an arrest warrant was issued for DMX after he risked a court hearing to address child support issues with his ex-wife, Tasha Rasul. In July 2017, DMX was charged with 14 federal counts of tax fraud. Federal prosecutors charged him with failing to file an income tax return from 2010 to 2015, a period where he earned at least $2.3 million. DMX pleaded guilty to a single count of tax fraud in November 2017. DMX was originally free pending sentencing, but has remained in jail in January 2018 after leading a drug treatment program ordered by the court and relapsing with cocaine and oxycodone. On March 2, 2018, Judge Jed S. Rockoff sentenced DMX to 1 year in prison, following by 3 years of supervised release. The court also ordered DMX to pay $2.29 million in restitution to the government. He was released from prison on January 25, 2019. Simmons addicted to crack cocaine when he was 14 years old after Reddy Ron tricked him into smoking marijuana cigarette laced with the drug. He also said that he had a bipolar disorder. On February 10, 2016, Simmons was found unresponsible in a Ramada Inn parking lot in Yonkers, New York. He was resuscitated by the first responders and getting Narcan before rushing to the hospital. The witness said he was ingested with some types of substance before collapsing. Police found no illegal substances on the property. Simmons stated it was from an asthma attack. On April 2, 2021, at approximately 11 p.m., Simmons was rushed to a hospital in White Plains, New York, where he reported to be in a critical condition following a heart attack in his home, possibly resulting from drug overdose. The next day, attorney Mary Richmond confirmed Simmons was on life support. The same night, Simmons suffered with cerebral hypoxia, and paramedics attempted to rescue him for 30 minutes. Simmons' former manager, Nakia Walker, said he was in a vegetative state with lung and brain failure and no current brain activity. His manager, Steve Rifkind, stated Simmons was comatose and he was set to undergo tests to determine his brain functionality, and his family will determine what's best from there. On April 9, 2021, Simmons had reported lost functionality in multiple essential organs, including his lungs, liver, and kidneys. Simmons was pronounced dead later that day, age 50. Here's DMX's discography. It's dark and hell is hot, flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood, and then it was X, the Great Depression, Grand Champ, Year of the Dog again, Undisputed, Redemption of the Beast. Awards and nominations. He was nominated for the best album. He was nominated for Party Up in Here, and he was nominated for Who We Be. American Music Award. 2000 and American Music Award, he won the award for favorite rap hip-hop artist. In 2001, he was nominated for favorite rap hip-hop artist. MTV Video Music Awards, he was nominated for Best Rap Video, Rough Riders Anthem, Party Up in Here, Best Rap Video, No Sunshine, Best Video from a Film, Who We Be, Best Rap Video, Best Breakthrough Video, nominated. Touch It Remix, Best Rap Video, Best Male Video. This is the list of his movies. He was in Belly, Romeo Must Die, Backstage, Exit Wounds, Cradle to the Grave, Never Die Alone, Father of Lies, Death Toll, Last Hour, Lords of the Street, Lockjaw, Rise of the Clues Serpent. The Bleeding, King Dog, Blame It on the Hustle, Top 5, Pimp, Beyond the Law, Fast and Furious, Death Race. 2003, he was in Def Jam Vendetta video game. In television, he was on the Chris Rock show, South Park. Moesha, Mad TV, Half and Half, Third Watch, E! Chappelle's Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, The Sharon Osbourne Show, Tripping, DMX Soul of a Man, Big Pun, The Legacy, Life Changers, Couples Therapy, Ayana, Fix My Life, Fresh Off the Boat, and Black Ink Crew. Yeah, and that's the Wikipedia article for DMX. Now, let me give a short, my opinion on how DMX has shaped me. DMX's first album came out Dark and Hell is Hot. It was a breath of fresh air in hip-hop because we just came from the shiny suit era and everything was all flashy and bling-bling. And it was nice to see a change of direction where hip-hop became gritty and hip-hop became straight. And DMX had one of the most powerful voices and the most powerful delivery in hip-hop history. He was his own hype man, going from stage to stage with a blue nose or red nose pit bull. One of my favorite songs on A Dark and Hell is Hot is Stop Being Greedy. Yeah, but my favorite album is And Then There Was X. I love When There Was X. It was just a great hip-hop album. He had, what was that? Niggas wanna eat the street with me, fucking with the street with me, maybe wanna, and I'm gonna pop, 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 pop. That song, he was a great storyteller. And then another song that I like, when he was like, X is coming for ya, can't do nothing for ya, because X is coming for ya, run like duck, duck, we don't give a fuck. Swiss Beats made the best beats for DMX, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Gun Hill Road. I'm from a place where, DMX and Swiss Beats used to run through. I remember when the Rough Riders used to do drag races up Pelham Parkway and up Boston Road just for no reason at all. Yeah, and was another song that I like on DMX. One of the greatest and the most funniest line in hip-hop history is when he said, you whack, you twisted, your girl's a hoe, you broke, the kid ain't yours, and everybody know, your old man say you stupid, you be like, so, I never maybe love her, I never let her go. That shit was funny as hell to me. I think it's the best line. Now, I did not know that all 5 of his albums debuted at number 1 on the 200 Billboard. That's never happened. And it says here on Wikipedia, he's the only one that's done that. That means Eminem has not done this, Jay-Z has not done this, 50 Cent has not done this, Tupac Shakur, Notorious B.I.G. Nobody has done this. He's consistent, and he was always well-rounded. I felt that he was a very well-rounded actor. Like, he was a natural actor. He was just, some rappers, it's very hard for them to transition for acting, but he actually did it so well. It's just the problem with him is that he was really addicted to drugs. And the story is about his drug addiction is that he was tricked into being addicted to drugs. So you know what they gotta say, man. When you're in the hood, you need to watch your kids and watch who your kids hang around with, because that person that they hang around with will mess them up. Mess them up real good. It's very sad that he died. And he was always, wasn't scared to stand up to the industry. He was one of the first few people that called out Napster and called out the internet for robbing his damn material. I think if DMX was in the same room with the person who created Napster, I think he would blow that guy's head off. Like, I think he'll take that razor blade out his tongue and just slice his damn face. Like, and rightfully so. Like, these internet dudes was robbing them back then. Yeah, so I'm very sad by this loss. It hurts. It's, there's been so much death. There's been so much death in the last 2 years. And I don't know. Again, let's have a moment of silence and everybody will say a prayer in their heads for the great Dogman X, being that he was a devout Christian. Okay, guys, this is Jeffrey Frazier for Black Wall Street Chronicles, and I'm signing off. God bless you.